Today, we're going to be benchmarking Starfield on the Steam Deck. But wait a minute, PB. Doesn't Starfield kinda suck? Didn't they just abandon that game like 2 months after it came out? Yeah, kinda. But we got an update today at Gamescom, and it's starting to look like this might go into a pretty decent direction soon. So now you're thinking, I've got my Steam Deck, I've got like 128 gigabytes free, who doesn't? What if I reinstalled Starfield and gave it another try? If that sounds like you, please hit the like button, it really helps the channel, subscribe, and I'm going to be covering more Steam Deck news. I'm going to be doing benchmarks and testing games out under the best settings that I can possibly find. This little freaking device here is insane. I just modded it, by the way. Pretty cool case. I'll link it in the description. We're looking at PC Games N right now, and the headline here is Starfield launches players' cars that you can drive in the free update. They're finally here. Cars have landed for Starfield, making getting around distant planets much easier, and what's more, they're free. So, honestly guys, this should have been in the game since the very beginning. Bethesda really kind of screwed up in that regard, but at least we got them now, and at least they're free. Exploration in Starfield has historically been a bit of a chore. Even with your jetpack in a low-G world, you'll forever be bouncing off terrain as you try to get to that distant cave to complete your planet's log. Now that's all changed, with the release of the REV-8 vehicle as a free update, and it's out very soon indeed. Announced as part of Gamescom Opening Night Live, the REV-8 will let Starfield players drive instead of schlepping about. Alright everybody, let's check this out. Now, before you launch the game, just install it like you normally would, but since this game is not technically compatible with Steam yet, you want to go and make sure that you're running this under Proton. And how you do this is by going to the cog icon, going down to Properties, going over to Compatibility, make sure this option here is checked, and then check this from the list, Proton Experimental. Then run the game. And we are running the game right now. We're at the main menu. So let me know in the comments. I have a question. Basically, should I leave the load times in the videos? Should I show you guys how long it actually takes to load? Or should I just cut it out? I'm not sure what you want. Let me know. But in the meantime, I made a character. Let's load in. It's a level 1. Now, I do have a few mods loaded onto this game. But it's nothing like visual-wise. It's all just kind of scripting. So whatever mods I have on this game won't really affect the same performance you'll be seeing here. So we're going to actually just let this load for now. It's going to take a little bit. This is on my internal NVMe hard drive, or solid state drive. So what we have right now is, first of all, I'm using Steam Link to show you guys the footage from the game on my computer. That's how I'm, showing what I'm seeing on the Steam Deck. This is being played in portable mode. So just so you know. Now, what we have here is the game running, it's working, and you know what? It doesn't look half bad, especially on this resolution of 720p. So, I'm going to show you, first off, the Steam settings that I'm using. So open up your Steam 3 dots button here and go down to Performance. Make sure Advanced is selected here and go down to Use Per Game Profile. Make sure that's checked. If you don't use this very often, you want to make sure this is checked so it doesn't affect your other games on your Steam Deck. What I want you to do now is set this game to 30 FPS. Unfortunately, I don't even want to test this game at 60 frames. It's probably not going to work very well, as it's not compatible as it is. So we're just going to kneecap this to 30 frames per second, go back into the game and press Start twice. Go down to Settings, and Display. Now, copy my settings here. I have borderless full screen on, we got dynamic resolution on, these should just be default so you don't have to really mess with this. Graphics preset, crank everything down to low, make sure VSync is on, and the filtering should be at 1x, but we're going to use FSR3 with frame generation turned on. Enable VRS as well, because the game just looks like absolute mud if you don't. And enable depth of field. I have it on. It's up to you, whatever your preference is. Let's see how it plays. Alright, I've cranked the overlay up a little bit, and we're going to walk around the city and see how this plays on portable mode. Now, right off the bat, honestly, it does not look terrible. And from what I'm seeing, it's not a constant 30 frames per second running around this little part of the city so far. It's dipping down to 26, 25, but it's hitting the target FPS most of the time from what I see. And looking around the world, it doesn't seem too noticeable. Like, it's not horrible. From what I could tell right now, the game looks a little muddy, sure. It is a little bit low res, and it just kind of looks not the best. Like, you would probably want to play this on an actual computer, but let's say you didn't have a computer. Is this actually playable? Well, right now, I'm saying, actually, yeah, it's starting to look playable, but maybe it's not perfect yet. I haven't encountered any crazy errors yet, but we're just running around, checking things out, running through the city, keeping an eye on the overlay. And it's so far, I mean, it's looking pretty good. Alright, we've walked around a little bit, gave it a little bit of a try, and now we're going to go ahead and take off on our ship and see if we can land on a planet and see if we can find that new vehicle that just came out today. Let's see what we could do and how this runs. More importantly, we're taking off on our ship. FPS is not awful for 30 frames. Like, this could be a lot better, but just due to the size of this game, really makes it work hard. And my Steam Deck is actually, I have a heatsink on the back of this custom case here, and it is freaking hot. It is like very, very hot right now. So we're moving around. We are in space. I don't remember how to play this game at all, chat. So where do we go? Let's go through the menus and see if we can land on this mining outpost. See if we can go there. Okay, we've hit the landing sequence here, and we're landing at this outpost. Let's see what it's all about. See if we can find anything cool. And especially just see how the game runs as we run around a new environment. Now, this should be a little bit emptier than a city, so I expect these areas to run somewhat better. But again, it's not going to be perfect. We're going to take out our gun here. Look around here. I don't see the Land Rover ship that we are supposed to get. Maybe that's further in the story. We're completely ignoring the story, really, but we're going to check out what's over here, and I don't want to run too fast or else I will be getting tired and I won't be able to run at all. So it looks like I have some sort of Ranger pistol or something. I haven't checked my loadout. This mod makes it so you can like join a faction and skip the intro, because the intro in this game, like Skyrim, is very annoying if you make new characters. So I just downloaded a mod to get rid of it. Okay, there's an enemy. There's a couple enemies. Okay. Just killed our first beast here. And we did it with relative ease. I mean, I'm able to aim. It's not lag. It's not a slideshow is what I'm trying to say. This actually feels pretty dang good to play. I mean, right out of the box, you know, you have the settings. You make sure you cap it to 30 frames a second and change most of the settings to low, but turn on frame gen. Obviously, frame generation is going to help any game. It's basically free FPS. So we're running around still. I can see we're at around 30. It's dipping to like 28, 29, but it's totally not noticeable. If we whip the camera around, it seems like the FPS is affected by that. But it's not bad. It's not going under 25, which I think is pretty reasonable. Here's a mining outpost. I would really like to get that rover vehicle. I don't know if I have to download it from the workshop or something. But this is more just to test the capabilities of the Steam Deck running this game. So we're going up this staircase, maintaining a pretty decent frame rate. Looking around. I want to see if if going into interior would help the frame rate. I'm sure it would, but I don't know where any interior actually is. Alright, we're back in town, and we've gone into a building just to see how the frame rate is here. This building is a constant 30 frames at the moment. Doesn't look like it's going down. Just a little choppy in general. But that's to be expected with a game of this magnitude running on the Steam Deck, as unoptimized as it is. Well, all said and done in these tests, it seems like that this game is indeed playable. I haven't ran into any crashes or anything like that, so I would say give it a try.